Loners, man, like and subscribe to join the club. So, I was taking a look around Dokkan Wiki. We just got an update for JP, a very small one. Looks like it added the it's here already. Looks like it added the support memory or support memory, whatever it is for Hercule. And it got me thinking as I was looking at the cards. I think we're doing it. I don't want to get anyone too excited, but this sort of brought a tear to my eye. Cause y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Like, this guy's pretty good. Like, for a banner unit, this guy's all right. His team sucks, but he's all right. This guy's a pretty good banner unit, and this guy's a pretty good banner unit. These are all extreme. This guy's a great EZA. And this guy is not a villain per se, but he's an antagonist, right? Like, the Pride Troopers were against Goku in Universe 7. Certainly they have to count for something. And I just started thinking, like, are we in the year of villains? Got me going down the list here. I started clicking through 2023 again, and oh man. See, I started this game in 2023, and while I have always heard that villains are on the backside, I pulled on stuff like Android 17 and Hellfighter 17, not because I thought they were good, but because I just like the show. Like, I'm a free to play slash very low spending player. So I saw stuff like this and I was like, yeah, I've got a lot of stones from having a new account. Why not pull on Super 17? I regret this so much. Maybe he'll get an EZA at some point. Way like years from now and be usable. But it just got me thinking, alright, go over here to Kale a month later. And this was another character that was alright. I mean, obviously she's super, but she is on SuperBosses. I've got reason to believe that SuperBosses could be the thing in place, in parentheses, to save villains. When you think about it, SuperBosses combines a bunch of units that are extreme and super under one banner that theoretically could do damage. I know, it's insane. I mean, we got Universe 6 condition right here. I'm pretty sure these guys also like super class enemy. I get it. I do get it. But as I kept going down the list here, oh boy, 2023 was just not a great year for villains, huh? Like, this is atrocious. How did they get away with this? How in 2023 did they get away with releasing Super Boo as the part 2 to a unit he has nothing to do with? Oh, and there's our golden child. Hopefully a lot of y'all watching were playing when this guy was the best villain in the game for a long, long time. And the reason I wanted to go down this memory lane here is we're currently in this time slot. We're right there. We're about a month, rather, I should say, away from Golden Week, where we could be seeing another Ma Junior, another unit capable of dragging these terrible villain teams across the finish line. I know it seems impossible, but look what happens as we continue to go down here. Turles after this. Turles follows up this Ma Junior W. If there's a Goku's family category enemy, I don't know. It really makes you think, like, why would you ever summon for these units? You know? I think we're winding down here. We have one more genuinely good villain. This guy's still good. This guy still might be no, he's probably not the best villain anymore, but this guy still might be the best villain to come out of the year. He holds his own. But let's look at, like, 2024 here. And do I really expect them to scale down at this point? I'm not even including Broly, like as the launch op. Did I put him in first? Yeah, I didn't. I think I started with the TURs most recently, but this guy's really good. He's not on Super Bosses, but this is a great lead-in for villains alongside this unit who has all of the classic villain issues, but is undoubtedly fine. Like, he's better than Super 17. He's better than dropping Kale with no support at all. Like, not to mention Big Daddy here, who his domain might get in the way of some of his potential, but you wouldn't be caught dead saying this guy isn't just like an outright villain buff in theory. And I guess all of this is quite literally just a theory, but it feels like as of 2024 they are acknowledging villains in a way that I don't think I've seen since I started playing, and certainly since I've heard people talk about these characters. And I think it all comes down to this tag right here. It's really insidious, but the more they add to this tag, the more likely it is that these villains find a place where big bad bosses isn't as much of an issue. Because while a character like Golden Frieza is helped out immensely by having a big bestie to hang around with, what they kind of need is just a generically powerful unit to do the work of some of these slot-ins. I just finished watching Truth's Topo showcase against Cell Max, and while Beast Gohan inevitably ate it, this character was able to transform and stand next to Cell Max while debuffed by Broly's domain. And again, this isn't a super character. This isn't an extreme character. It's a super character, but he is undoubtedly an antagonist of the series. He was on Universe 11, fighting against Goku and the gang. Super Bosses, again, seems to be this mythical, nebulous team that is highlighting a lot of these characters, like Broly, and, well, like our girl Kefla here. Again, another good character. Not yet on JP, but is a super boss. And will be powerful, no doubt. Will be probably the best EZA in the game for their TURs, is, like I said, as far as TURs are concerned. And again, on all of these teams, is undoubtedly a buff for villains she can stand beside. Especially, once again, characters like Broly, who's leading super bosses and is a Saiyan. You start to sort of see the vision when you look at Rosé here, who is probably the most mid post 9th character we've seen. He doesn't really have his tools because he can't stand beside this character. Maybe he doesn't want to because of the domain clashing, but that's clearly being reworked. But he can't stand beside some of these characters that on a functioning proper team. But this cloning thing, this domain, doesn't hurt allies. It only buffs super bosses, which again, she's on as a super unit, he's on as a super unit, he's on as an extreme unit, he's on as an extreme unit, and he's on as an extreme unit. This has me really curious as to what that super domain, or what that domain update they're making, the expansion of the domain system they talked about in that roadmap is. Because if it's something that affects these characters who are all doing such extremely powerful domain-based things and all fall under this banner of super bosses, I don't know if you could make a great argument for at least antagonistic characters not being prioritized in some way this year. Not to mention this absolute banger, this monster of an EZA. This guy is only down the list in terms of 9th anniversary LRs because he's a villain who has to try and fight for a space on the top 10 LRs next to Beast. This guy's amazing. Yeah, I'm like weirdly positive about villains this year. Villains slash antagonistic characters. Because if you're telling me that we're, what is it? Popo just came out on March 31st. It literally came out a day ago. We're 4 months exactly into the year. 8 more months to go. And this guy, and this guy's good. This guy seems alright. She's good, a super antagonist functionally. He's good, a super antagonist functionally. He's fine. He's really good. He's a top, however, whatever you want to play some character. He's alright. He needs help. This guy's amazing. This guy's still great. Like, and then we get to the 2023 flops. Like, you see that? Like, would you actually want to keep any of these characters from the past year after you've seen what we've gotten? The outcry might have worked. We might be looking at the villain renaissance. Peace.